Okay, so there's been quite a bit of excitement recently around this protein p62
Hmm.
and the whole idea that it might be, a new way to tackle skin aging.
Yeah.
I saw this piece about a study, I think it was on lifespan.io,
Yeah, I saw that one too.
suggesting it could boost autophagy. That's the cell's cleanup crew, right?
That's right, the recycling system.
And potentially rejuvenate skin. Sounds pretty
It
incredible.
definitely does. It catches the eye. And, well, that's exactly why we're doing this deep dive, isn't it? To look beyond that initial, wow factor.
Exactly.
We've got some scientific commentary that offers a, let's say, more critical look at whether P62 can really be a therapy. And that's what we want to unpack for you.
Absolutely. We want to get past the hype and see what's really going on. So today we're going to explore why P62 is even a target, why the interest,
Hmm.
but then maybe more importantly, look at the potential downsides, the practical hurdles in making it a treatment.
Yeah, the real world stuff.
And, how does it actually stack up against anti-aging things we already use? Ready to jump in?
Let's do it. So first things first, why P62? What's the initial hook?
Okay, right. So P62, my understanding is it's like a key player in that autophagy process we mentioned.
It is.
The cell's housekeeping system. It clears out damaged stuff, old proteins, keeps things running well.
Yeah.
And P62 acts maybe like a tag or a delivery truck. It finds the junk and takes it to the cellular recycling center.
That's a great way to put it. It's a specific receptor. It binds to the stuff that needs clearing out and to the machinery that does the clearing. It's fundamental for keeping cells healthy
Okay.
and preventing that buildup of damage that, contributes to aging.
Right, right. Which brings us to that study, Takaya and colleagues.
Mhm.
They found that if they increased P62 levels, specifically in mouse skin cells,
Yeah.
the fibroblasts that make collagen,
Yes, the dermal fibroblasts.
they saw, well, better collagen production, and the skin just looked healthier. And that was the spark, wasn't it?
That was definitely the spark. Seeing results like improved collagen, better skin appearance in a model system that naturally gets people excited.
Sure.
But, and this is a big but, we really have to be cautious. These are early findings. In mice,
Okay.
mouse bone and human skinned aging,
Yeah.
they aren't identical.
Mm.
It's a valuable clue, absolutely, but not a direct translation to humans. Not yet.
That makes sense, because skin aging isn't just one little thing, is it? It feels
No.
much more tangled up.
Oh, absolutely. Our sources really hammer this home. Skin aging is incredibly multifactorial. You've got constant attacks from UV light, right?
Yeah.
Then internal stuff like oxidative stress, glycation, then sugar, messing with proteins. Chronic inflammation is a big one. Our mitochondria, the cell batteries, they get sluggish. Even the stem cells in our skin decrease over time. It's a whole network.
So thinking that just boosting one protein like P62 could fix all that, it's kind of like, I don't know, polishing the chrome on a car that needs a whole new engine.
That's a fantastic analogy, yeah. Targeting P62 might help with one piece clearing out some junk via autophagy,
Okay.
but it might not touch those other huge factors like UV damage repair or inflammation or mitochondrial health in a meaningful way on its own. You likely need a broader strategy.
And this is where it gets even trickier, because P62, it's not always playing for the hung team, is it? I mean, the commentary we looked at points out it has a bit of a dark side.
That's a really critical point, yes. While P62 is essential for normal autophagy, it's definitely not universally beneficial. There's research showing it can actually fuel inflammation in certain skin problems.
It's like eczema or
Yeah.
psoriasis, things where inflammation is already the main issue.
Exactly, those kinds of conditions.
Yeah.
In that context, higher levels or accumulation of P62 have been linked to making that chronic inflammation worse.
Wow.
It really highlights how context matters in biology. P62 is helpful, essential even, under normal circumstances for cleanup, but when the system's already out of whack, especially with inflammation,
You can add fuel to the fire.
precisely, it can become part of the problem. So, just blindly boosting P62 everywhere, probably not a great idea. It's a balance.
Okay, that really complicates the anti-aging angle, doesn't it? How do you boost it for potential rejuvenation benefits if you know it might worsen inflammation elsewhere or if someone's prone to it?
It's the classic double-edged sword scenario.
Yeah.
It underlines why we need a much more nuanced understanding. How does P62 act specifically in aged skin versus inflamed skin? Are there ways to target its beneficial actions without triggering the detrimental ones?
Yeah.
Big questions remain.
Okay, so let's imagine just for a second we could somehow isolate only the good effects of P62 for aging skin. Getting it there seems like another massive challenge.
Huge challenge, yes. Our sources flag several major practical issues. Delivery is number one.
Right.
The skin is designed to be a barrier.
Yeah.
How do you get a p62 enhancing compound through the outer layer, the epidermis, deep enough into the dermis where those collagen-producing cells live? And crucially, how do you do that without it just getting absorbed into the bloodstream and potentially affecting p62 levels all over the body?
Yeah, you definitely don't want that, especially given the inflammation link we just talked about or, other roles it might have.
Exactly. Which leads to the second challenge, specificity.
Hmm.
Can we make sure we're only boosting p62 in the target skin cells? Maybe just the fibroblasts.
And not, say, immune cells in the skin or cells elsewhere.
Precisely. That level of targeting is incredibly difficult to achieve, especially with topical applications.
And then there's the long-term stuff. What happens if you mess with autophagy, this really fundamental process, for years or decades?
That's the long-term safety question, and it's a big one. Autophagy is involved in so many cellular processes, including quality control that prevents damaged cells from becoming cancerous.
Ooh.
So if you chronically alter autophagy pathways, could that potentially increase risks down the line? Like tumor development? We just don't know. It would require incredibly thorough long-term safety studies.
So it sounds like don't hold your breath for a p62 anti-aging cream next year.
Slight chuckle. That's probably a very realistic take. The initial science is interesting, no doubt. It shows we're learning more about aging at the molecular level.
Yeah.
But the path from discovering a target like p62 to having a safe, effective, targeted therapy, it's usually very long, very complex, lots of potential roadblocks.
And we need to remember, too, that it's not like we have nothing for skin aging now. We have treatments with actual track records, like retinoids.
Absolutely. And a commentary brings this up. We had to put p62 in context. Retinoids, like tretinoin, have decades, literally decades of clinical data showing they work.
Right. They improve collagen, texture, wrinkles.
Yes. And we have antioxidants, various peptides that show promise, maybe even things like rapamycin targeting mTOR are being looked at for aging, including skin.
So before everyone jumps on the p62 bandwagon, we really need studies comparing it head-to-head with these established things.
That's the crucial next step from a clinical perspective. How does manipulating p62 actually stack up against, say, a retinoid? Is it better, safer? Does it target different aspects?
We don't have those comparisons yet.
Not really, not in the depth we'd need. Much of the initial buzz focuses just on the p62 mechanism itself, without that broader comparison. We need that evidence to see where, or even if, p62 fits into the picture alongside existing options.
Okay, so summing this up, the takeaway isn't p62 is useless, but more like interesting science, but hold your horses.
Exactly. Measured optimism, perhaps.
Yeah.
The research is valuable. It advances our fundamental understanding of aging biology, autophagy's role. But extrapolating that directly to a miracle skin cream right now is premature. We need replication, much deeper understanding of its different roles, awareness of the practical hurdles, a holistic view.
So the appealing idea of just ramping up our cellular cleaning crew for younger skin, it's got layers of complexity underneath.
Many layers. Cautious optimism is good. Recognizing the challenges and the need for way more research is essential. Understanding that wider biological context is just critical before embracing any single target approach wholeheartedly.
Which is really the goal here, right? To give you, the listener, a more complete picture than you might get from just a quick headline. Hopefully this dive has helped clarify where things stand with p62 and skin aging.
Indeed. And it kind of leaves you with a thought, doesn't it? Considering this whole double-edged sword nature of p62, makes you wonder what other things out there, things that seem purely beneficial at first glance, might also have these hidden complexities or context-dependent effects we haven't fully explored yet.
That's a great point.
It's a good reminder that biology is rarely simple. There's usually more going on beneath the surface.